We're back again for another edition of the show. It's Friday, and we're here again taking on a trip across the money spinning world of sport. I'm Yemi Adeba. It's a packed house tonight. We're going to be having Austin Okonakwan join us. Alfred Okoligbe will join us as well. Then, of course, we have someone in the studio you would love to listen to as we approach the start of the Nigerian National League. It was on the show a couple of weeks ago. It talked about his club relocating to Lagos. You're already having clues who I'm referring to. So just sit back and relax as we unveil everything to you. We try to unpack everything as we go on the show. First, I want to let you know that you're an integral part of the show. That is why we always want you to be a part of it. You can always talk to us. Let us know how you feel about all the things happening in your fast-paced and money-spinning world of sports. Just in case you're joining us for the first time, this is how you can be a part of the show today. You can send us a mail if that's your thing. sportstonight@channelstv.com. On Facebook, it is channels-sports, and on Twitter, @channels_sports. That's how you can let us know how you feel about all the things happening in the world of sports. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the Nigerian National League as we begin to count down to the days when it will start. We'll also take a look at the National Sports Festival. We've started a countdown on the show. We continue with that as well. We'll go to England at some point, talk about the FA Cup, talk about the teams, the top teams in the English Premier League, Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City. Then, of course, the big one happening later in the year, that's the Olympics. Of course, the experts, they're talking, they're giving us their advice, they're talking about the things that should be done as we prepare for the biggest sporting event on the planet. That's the multi-sport event, which is the Olympics. Then again, if we have time, we'll spare a thought for former world number one, Andy Murray. Of course, he will not be at the Australian Open, and I'm very sure you want to know why. So stick around. We'll tell you why it will not be at the Australian Open. All right, so let me introduce my guest on the show tonight. He's going to be with me for the first half of the show. Some of you already have an idea who he is, but for those who don't, George Essien joins me on the show tonight. George is, of course, communication director of Vandrezzer FC, a team loved by many. Is relocated to Lagos. But George, it's good to have you here with us in the studio.
Thank you very much. And it's great to hear that we're loved by many.
Yeah.
It shows that we're probably doing the right things, right? You know, when the last time we talked, I told you I'm going to be here in the studio. So thank you for making that happen.
All right. Promise made, promise kept. All right. Let's also get the thoughts of our guys. Let me start with Austin Okonakwan. Austin, it's good to have you join us on the show tonight. I know there's a lot to talk about, but first, let me welcome you to the show tonight.
What a great to hear me. Good to see George in the studio. Also, shout out to all our viewers all over the world. Always a delight to be on this show.
All right, let me go to Alfred. Alfred Okoligbe couldn't make it down to the studio, but of course, he joins us tonight on the show. Crossing all the hurdles to be with us on the show. Alfred, it's good to have you join us on the show tonight.
Thank you very much, Yemi, and for George. It's been a while. Congratulations for that decision you guys took coming to Lagos. Exciting times ahead, and if you do the right things, I'm sure that somehow Lagos will favor you at the end of the day, because this is where the market really is.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, all right, guys, stand by. You're going to be part of the discussion. And, of course, George is going to be telling us a lot of things about Vandrezzer. So, George, let's just dive straight into it. Are you guys now in Lagos? Are you fully settled in Lagos? Because the conversation is we're coming to Lagos.
Yeah.
So now, are you now in Lagos?
Yes, we're now in Lagos.
Okay.
I am in Lagos.
Okay.
You remember, like I said, I told you that, you know, next week, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be here. My presence here already spells that Vandrezzer FC is in Lagos. We arrived today at about 11:15 p.m., you know, from Akwa Ibom State. And
with all the bags packed?
All the bags packed. In fact, bags were already packed. And the players traveled light, you know, very light. via, of course, the Akwa Ibom State Airline. And we're here, settled in to our new home. Remember, it's new home, new year, new home. So that's just it. And the reasons are very clear. We keep saying it. We need to be where about 60% of our fan base is. We need to be near, where the businesses, headquarters are. We spent a year. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play a lot of football.
No thanks to COVID?
No thanks to COVID, no thanks to even causing reasons, because even the NNL had shut down before COVID came, and, that was quite sad for us. We decided to start this football campaign from the NNL, and, no regrets, actually, because at the end of the day, lots of people didn't get to even play football. And so the NNL season 2019-2020 was declared null and void. So it looks like we never even did anything football on the pitch. But here we are. We retained our coach. He decided to stay on. And obviously he will, because there's a great plan for this club. And we had a lot of players
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
Talk about stability. You were able, in spite of all of the things, you kept most of your players, kept the coach. And that shows there's a particular desire to have stability with the team, and also not just to participate. Probably you're aiming for big things. I don't know if that's the desire, but that's what a lot of people will read into those crucial decisions.
It has to be the desire to aim for big things. Everton was told, the job that you came to do, you haven't even done it, and he knew that already. It's, if I'm correct, his fourth spell in Nigeria. One of those spells was very short-lived, winning the Federations Cup with FC Fayyoba, and then it was with Akwa United, and then a short spell with Abia Warriors. Dropping to the second cadre of Nigerian football was, sometimes maybe it was tough, but it was very easy for him, because the way he even landed the job was quite fun for him. He went to London, watched games, and then he instantly agreed that this is the kind of club that I want to be with. So whether they're in the second division, he certainly wants to be with them. Right. So we maintain that stability because we know where we're going.
I'm going to ask you a question, then I'll allow Austin and Alfred pitch in to probably have one or two things to say about Vandrezzer coming to Lagos. You talked about the huge fan base that you have and the large chunk of that fan base right here in Lagos. But I want to ask a question that we've been asking a lot of people, and you occupy a position which makes you able to answer that question. A large part of this season is going to be played without fans. It appears so. It appears so. So the chants, the singing, the support from the fans, it's going to be non-existent. It's going to be dead drop silence
at
when
the stadium, right?
those matches are being played. But how does that make you feel? Does it take anything away from the club, especially knowing that you have a huge fan base in Lagos?
It does. I mean, every single club, NPFL, NNL, NWFL, every single club knows that the fact that we don't have fans at the stadiums, it's a minus. We want to be able to wow the crowd physically. But, it's a digital age right now, and that's what we spent our time doing in this year where there was no football. We launched the VFC TV, which we started even transmitting games before, the NPFL TV came on, which, we're quite excited about. It means that people are catching the buzz about it. We also have launched our mobile app, which people can latch onto,
all right,
and also follow whatever we're doing. Would have loved to display all this in front of people. We're hoping that COVID will go sooner than later. But, I mean, we are in Lagos where the businesses are. That's even the biggest catch right now. We've spent a lot of money, invested a lot in this club. It's a big project, which we hope that, at the end of the day, it's football we're playing. We hope to inspire other teams to do so, but it's about time, especially as the federal government has now classified sports as business. thanks to, of course, the Honorable Minister of
Sports, yeah.
who has said sports is now business. So we said, okay, where are the businesses in Lagos? So if we look at our fan base, we're the most followed football club in Nigeria on social media.
Well,
so
AIM and Rangers will have something to say about that, but you can continue.
Well, most followed on, I said digitally.
Okay.
AIMBA does not have 400,000 followers.
Okay.
Rangers does not have 400,000 followers on social media. And we know how social media drives right now. Of course, conventional media is still the in thing, but social media, you can easily drop something and 400 people. You have the numbers, all right? In conventional media, you can still have the numbers, but you're sure that if you drop something, 400,000 people would see it. So we use that to market, and that's why we're here. We're coming to see the sponsors, we're coming to see the investors, and we're saying, you know what? Football is now business by government, so let's do business.
Okay, all right. So it's time to bring the guys into the discussion, make it lively and interesting. Let me allow Austin Okonakwan pitch in, and you've been listening to what George has been saying, the ambitious plan to come to Lagos and all of that. Your take on all that he has said, and maybe there's something you want clarity on with regards to some of the things he said.
I think what Vandrezzer is doing is a breath of fresh air to football in Nigeria. They came onto the scene and refreshed the way we've been doing some certain things. These things are not new to Nigerian football, but let's be sincere, at some point we went to sleep with it. Someone would say packaging doesn't play football, but it actually creates that environment that the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development is yearning for. If we want to make football business, then we must create the environment for it. I told you guys on this show some time ago that in England, most of the matches are not on TV before COVID. That's because they want people to come to the stadium to experience match day, to have a feel of match day experience. And that way, when you come to the stadium, you feel what the club is doing to develop football. You become a part of the family. And so you want to invest. They look at every avenue to make money. I think that's what Vandrezzer is doing. Good move for them to have come to Lagos, and a big loss to Akwa Ibom State, and a big question mark also that what are they doing as regards seeing football as business, because Akwa United and Dakada are still right there in Uyo. So we should start questioning ourselves. That's what I think Vandrezzer. Someone would say, yes, they've not reached where we expect them, but these are good signs. And if they are in the right environment, they will thrive. And does this sort of thing rub off? Yes, it does. Some clubs will look at. So if you look at their group in the NNL, people might go for the likes of 3SC, go for the likes of Go Round, and some of the traditional teams that have been there. But somehow they are talking because they've got presence, because they're doing a lot for branding, because people are beginning to love what they do, it's beginning to tell and rub on their football. So that's development for you. Somehow, some way, you will just see gains. And I think that's what they're doing, and we should encourage Vandrezzer and other clubs in Nigeria to go this way, be responsible with our football, create an environment that will make me, someone from Akwa Ibom State, to go invest in football in Omoku, where there is go round. That's the power of sports. Yeah. And when you start feeling it, it drives you to do more. So kudos to Vandrezzer and, of course, every other club in Nigeria that is doing well to develop football.
All right, let me allow Alfred pitch in as well. We're about to go on a break, but notwithstanding, Alfred, I don't know if you agree with all of the things that Austin has said. For those in Lagos, they are happy, the more the merrier. It's good to have more clubs in Lagos. But let's have your take on that ambitious move. I still call it an ambitious move. We'll wait to see the dividends of the move. But your take?
For me, I think they have a lot of work to do. Football club is usually, it is something that where a football club is situated has something, you must have affinity with your immediate environment, with your host. If you want to grow organically, not a question of, because whether you like it or not, this is a team that came from outside Lagos. Now that they are in Lagos, they have to start building blocks. Yes, you have the numbers in terms of social media, but you have to have the numbers in terms of those who relate with you at the local level. I don't know where their camp is. I don't know where they intend to set up their base. You look, for example, you go to Agege, any young man you see in and around Agege will tell you MFM. It is the power of your immediate environment and what it does to a football club. And we've seen this model. Why we appreciate what Vandrezzer is doing is because the little intangibles that clubs have overlooked, the presence in social media, the way you put out yourself to be able to, the way you market yourself to be able to attract the funds that sponsors want to bring in. A lot of people have overlooked it, but this is what Vandrezzer is, really putting out there. I think they're doing a fantastic job. But you have to realize that when you come to a new environment, you have to really do the work, walk the walk at the local level. We saw Ikorodu United and what they wanted to do 2 seasons ago. The hospitality, the fun of going to the stadium, then Odikon Stadium, then, and what they wanted to do. At some point, it fizzled out. That's why you need the base, you need the support at the base. Yes, you have the numbers in terms of how do you convert it to cash. That's what I think they need to do.
That's a problem that needs to be solved. All right, I want us to quickly listen to the captain of the club. Those are the stakeholders, the ones playing the football, all of the things that they're doing from the communications angle as to tally with the results on the field. So let's listen to captain of the club, of course, speak ahead of the new season. Then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
The feeling is great. The boys are ready to roar, and we're set. Lagos is at the commercial hub of the nation. Akwa Ibom has been home for us for the past 1 year, and leaving Akwa Ibom to Lagos is quite emotional. But what can we do? We are home already in Lagos, and that is what it is.
We are happy to come to Lagos. We feel very happy to come here, and it is a few days to the league start. We are very happy to be here. It's a more than 1 year now we don't play league game. It's a very happy. We feel that the game is come for us. We are ready when the games came. It's a very, very, very good that we're feeling match situations. The players is very happy. Everybody is excited for the first game.
All right, that's it. Judge, we're about to go on a break, but let me ask you, some of the things Alfred talked about, I mean, if you're talking about fans, I need a quick response from for this question. Where are you guys based now and camp? A lot of the fans would love to come and see your trainings and stuff like that.
Stadium. We were sharing the stadium with MFM.
So there must have been an arrangement.
Obviously,
on the day.
We had already announced this move like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
The players, after all the arrangement, the players only came in today.
Okay.
So that's sorted. And thumbs up to what Austin and Alfred have said. Alfred has actually said the truth. Aside from just having a social media presence, in fact, the charge to Everton is that, first of all, you need to be able to play well on the pitch. Vandrezzer FC has established itself as, off the pitch, we probably are the most popular club in Nigeria, of course, as given us by the African Digital Football Benchmark, and the 37th most popular in Africa. But we need to do it on the pitch. And I think that when we start doing it on the pitch, we'll start endearing the fans to us. That's why I said, COVID, go away. Vandrezzer wants to play.
All right. Okay, before we let you go, because we're pressed for time, I was hoping to keep you, but we have to let you go. Any targets for the new season?
Well, of course. We have been grouped in a very tricky group, and I mean, the target that we set for last season is what we want to do right now. All right, qualify for the next season. But the ultimate target is to withstand the Nigerian League, qualify for the NPFL, be, a role model to lots of clubs, see more clubs like Vandrezzer FC, private sector investments come into this. Right. And then at the end of the day, people will start reckoning with Nigerian club football and say, you know what, these guys are doing the right thing.
If they did it, we can also do it. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you
Georges,
very
I want to
much.
thank you for your time on the show today.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
we get to do this some other time.
We're in Lagos now, so we'll get to do it anytime.
All right. All right.
All
So
right, thanks a lot, Yemi.
that's our friend Georges said, Communication Director of Vandrezzer Football Club. We've just relocated to Lagos. All right. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, there's a lot to talk about: the Sports Festival, the Olympics, and of course, what's happening in the English Premier League. We'll go on that break and return for more Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. It's time to take a look at what's happening on the domestic scene. Let's start by talking about the National Sports Festival. And of course, we continue with our countdown. Let's just tell you officially, it's 22 days to go to Nigeria's mini Olympics. From where we stand, nothing has changed. The events will go ahead as planned until we get further instructions. And it does appear that nobody's talking about a plan B. So it's safe to assume that it's going to go ahead. So let me talk to the guys. They're still with me. Austin Okonakpan is still with me. Alfred Okoligbe still with me. So guys, let's continue by talking about the National Sports Festival. Let me go to Alfred first and quickly ask you, you know, it appears like it's going to go ahead. It's part of everything. Second wave, increased number of COVID-19 cases. It does appear that we will have the National Sports Festival. It also appears like it's the sensible thing to do, because if it's postponed, I don't think there's any other space in the calendar to put it. But those are just my thoughts. I don't know about you.
Well, I will agree with you, Yemi, because this competition has suffered a lot of movement. At some point, it got it left the realm of sports to the realm of politics. The back and forth between the Edo State government and the PTF. Eventually, a date was agreed. Like you said, from where we were standing, it's like everybody just wants to get this over the line. Only yesterday, this is the news item where they talked about the level of infection and the spread of the COVID-19 and the rest of it. But I think that a lot of people have now taken it at the back of their mind. And I think for all of us, the earlier we realize that the situation that we find ourselves is that we just have to, you know, continue with our lives. And only today, it was announced that Zinedine Zidane tested positive to COVID-19. Real Madrid will play this weekend. I mean, if we set up structure where we will be able to identify, isolate those infected and the rest of it, I think we're good to go. Like you said, nobody is willing to make the call now. From where we're standing, it's like this National Sports Festival is going to hold. Okay,
let me go to Austin. I don't know if you have other thoughts. I know you've always talked about COVID-19 and how we should respect COVID-19 by not toiling, by not toying with what's going on and take it seriously. But it does appear that we will have the National Sports Festival. So I don't know how that makes you feel.
I think each time we talk about this, it's just so much pressure to get it done and just keep it away. Let's take the cue from what the Deputy Governor of Edo State talked about the last time we had him on the show. He raised concerns. We should evaluate those concerns. And if they still bother us, then it should tell us, it should lead the decision that they have to make about the National Sports Festival. Some might say, oh, it's been postponed about 4 times. Let's just get it done with. No. When there is a health crisis, you just don't get it done. You need to be sure. Otherwise, you put yourself in a very precarious situation. And I don't think we want to do that to ourselves, because we're going to be bringing families to the National Sports Festival. We're going to be bringing breadwinners. We're going to be bringing responsible moms and dads, athletes that the nations depend on, families look up to. So there's so much at stake. I love the fact they are determined. I love the fact that they want to get this thing done. State governments are also putting pressure, because A lot of them have already allocated budgets for this National Sports Festival. We are also looking at the Tokyo Olympics. That's going to be a good avenue for, warm up to the games. Even Tokyo has been going back and forth as regards the Olympics. And that's why Sebastian Coe is saying if there's no vaccine, it's like it's going to be very, very difficult to have the games. So those concerns are everywhere. We're dealing with a global pandemic. So a group shouldn't stay and either put pressure or feel bad or not having the National Sports Festival. It is what it is. If they evaluate those concerns raised by Philly Shaibu the last time I was on this show, and they feel they're fine, they can deal with it, have fewer number of athletes at the Games Village, ensure that there's rapid testing, which you mentioned, social distancing and all the protocols being observed, yes, we can have the National Sports Festival. Okay. But if not, then I think we should stay safe.
All right. So that's a good place to leave it. But the conversation will continue, surely. And it's 22 days to go. And like I said, from where we stand, we've not heard anything that points to a direction that suggests that the sports festival will not hold. So it's safe to assume that it's going to be held. But of course, safety concerns should not be ignored. All right, guys, let's move on the show and talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League and talk about the next set of matches that we're going to see. Match day 6 is going to be. So let's just quickly show to you the fixtures for this weekend and on Monday. Tomorrow, you're going to have Katsina United and Plateau United. I'm going to quickly reel out these fixtures, then I'm going to allow Alfred and Austin tell me what they think. Adamawa United will take on Eimba. Calapilas will take on Rivers United. Of course, Rivers United won't play this game, and you know why. We'll talk about that later. Heartland and Aqua United will square off. Kwara United will take on FC Ufan-Yuba. All of these games will be on Sunday. Abia Warriors will take on MFM. Rangers will take on Lobby Stars. Dakada will take on Sunshine Stars. And Warri Wolves will take on Nasarawa United. All of these fixtures for Sunday. And you also have one fixture that will be for Monday. You have Wiki Tourist taking on Jigawa Golden Stars. So that's it. Those are the fixtures. Also, I want to get your thoughts quickly on the matches to look forward to. I know they all will be exciting, but the ones that you think you feel exciting things will happen.
I think the match between Lobby Stars and Rangers will produce fireworks. If you look at the behavior of the table, it means so much to Rangers and Lobby Stars. Both teams, coming off very good match day 5. Rangers came to Lagos, picked a vital point. Lobby Stars left it late against Dakada to win in Makurdi. So both of them have 10 points on the table. Lobby Stars, they are 3rd. Rangers, they are 4th. With what is happening, Rivers United won't be busy this weekend because of continental action. Nasarawa United is 2nd on the log. If either Rangers or Lobby Stars win and anything happens to Nasarawa, then they go top of the table. And that's why I see it as the most important match this weekend. Lobby Stars, out of their last 2 matches, they've been able to gather 4 points. Remember, they went to Sunshine Stars. They were so close to getting that away win, but it didn't happen. Sunshine, they love producing late dramas. They were able to snatch it, got 1 point off Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars against Dakada knew they needed to win that one, and they won so well. Martins is on fire. Most of the players right there in Lobby, they are loving the start. So with the Rangers that's got pedigree, that's got good players, that has got the valuable Coach Salisu Yusuf, who is experienced with league football in Nigeria, then we should expect some good football, Lobby Stars and Rangers.
Okay, all right. Since you talked about it, let me keep you on, Austin. Let's talk about Rivers United in Port Novo, Benin Republic. We'll be up against Bloemfontein Celtics. I don't know. Some of us can be forgiven if we feel that they've done enough, but we've seen stranger things happen in football. All what the guys from South Africa need is just 3 unreplied goals. And if you ask yourself, can that happen? Yes, it can. We hope it doesn't, but can it happen? Yes, it can.
Yes, it can. It's football. Anything can happen, and we've seen worse. And I will be so heartbroken if anything happens to Rivers United with that fixture, because they had it going for themselves, until what happened in terms of getting clearance for Bloemfontein to come play that match. I love their level of preparation. They're beginning to do so well in terms of planning and execution. They're already right there in Benin Republic, so they have a good feel of the turf. 2-0 in football is nothing, Yemi, when there's so much at stake for it. But with the quality Rivers United they've shown in the league, they're enjoying good form. The other day, I tried to call out their players, and you can tell that it was threatening, and they hold a 2-0 advantage. Hopefully, they're going to stay focused, show no level of complacency, get the job done, and advance in the CAF Confederation Cup. But it's going to be a good game of football. Bloemfontein Celtic will come and give everything that they have because, the man that is on the ground just wants to get up. So let's see. It's a good test of character for Rivers United. It's another opportunity for them to show their quality, particularly their current form. I believe that they can actually come good with that.
Okay. Let me get back to Alfred quickly. Alfred, we're talking about Rivers United. A lot of people feel that they've crossed the line already, but this is football. I'm not hoping. I'm not a prophet of doom, but the question is, can your opponent score 3 unreplied goals? Yes, it's football. It can happen, but I don't want that to happen. But, I'm beginning to question a lot of people already talking about Rivers United aim, but you just have to cross this hurdle first.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely, Yemi. And I think they have the job half done. Not yet fully done. 2 goals, you might say, is not big enough scoreline, but it's massive. Let me tell you, Rivers United have had only 1 loss on the road, and that was against Wiki Tories. And they complained about the travels and the rest of them, how they got to Bauchi and they were knackered and the rest of that. But this time around, they traveled, they came to Lagos, went to Port Novo, took time to settle down and settle in. And if one thing about this Rivers United team is that they are full of goals. A player like Godwin so far has just been consistent with scoring the goals. So they have players who can finish, who can really do the job. And that's an advantage for them. If you had the benefit of watching the first leg, it's not as if the 2 goals that they scored were like a fluke. It was a game that they completely dominated from start to finish, and they deserved the 2 goals lead that they had. So based on that, I think it's a game that they can really navigate through and go to the next round of the competition.
All right. Okay, so let's leave that and talk about what's going on in Cameroon. We're going to talk about it in passing. Nigeria is not there, but we hold our viewers the duty. We hold them. It's our duty to let them know what's going on in Cameroon. So I'll just reel out the results. We'll talk about it, but let's quickly reel out the results. African Nations Championship Group C results take a look at it. Morocco and Rwanda. Let's see what happened. Goalless. Right now, as we speak, Uganda and Togo. It's 2-1 in favor of Togo. And the game, I think in the dying moments as we speak. So if anything happens, we'll let you know. But this is just to let you know what's going on. These are the results. Let's take a look at what's going to happen tomorrow in Group D. The matches to be played in Group D. Let's see that quickly. We have, of course, in Group D, Namibia will take on Tanzania for size. Burkina Faso will take on the host, Cameroon. Let's not forget, this tournament is a dress rehearsal for Cameroon because they're going to stage the big one, talk about the Cup of Nations next year. All right, we're done with that. Let's move on. I want to quickly go to England and talk about what's going to happen over the weekend. Let's talk about the English FA Cup. Let's quickly give you the fixtures and listen to one or two of the managers involved there. Now, I'll let the guys talk about what they feel will happen. Premier League affair, Southampton and Arsenal would play in the 4th round. We have West Ham, Doncaster Rovers will square off Cheltenham Town will take on Manchester City. In that one, you also have on Sunday, Chelsea and Luton Town will play. A lot of people talking about Lampard, journalists getting under his skin, and a lot of this is under intense pressure. We talk about Frank Lampard. Brentford will take on Leicester City. Leicester City flying high. Then the big one everybody wants to see, 2 of England's most successful clubs, Manchester United and Liverpool. Those two teams. That's how we cross the finish line on the show tonight. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we brought to you and that it was worth your while. We'll be back here again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.